Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, I'll tell you what happened to me this morning. I dropped my daughter off for school and then I headed to the grocery store to get some ground meat for tonight's dinner. But somehow I ended up at the nursery instead with two smooth hydrangeas in my car. And does this happen to you guys where you don't wake up and have any intent to buy more plants, but then somehow you find yourself having bought more plants? I suppose this is why I only own 5 shirts and lots of plants. But honestly, I just couldn't resist because I've been wanting another Haas Halo hydrangea over for the hydrangea room, and they're really hard to come by for some reason. So I'm always just kind of popping into nurseries to see if they have one. And so one Haas Halo hydrangea turned into a Haas Halo hydrangea and an Invincibelle Spirit 2 hydrangea. So I guess what we're going to be getting around to today is planting those. And my initial plan for today was to get on to my second succession of gladiolus corms. So we'll do that as well. So let's head on into my slightly frightening garage to grab a shovel first. It's a really beautiful overcast day here in Pennsylvania, and I'm really excited because they opened up the fountain shows at Longwood Gardens again, and we're all gonna go tonight. So my initial thought for the hydrangea room was to have the same hydrangea on either side, but in different locations, almost on an x-axis is what I was thinking. I'm not really sure if that's the right way to go about it, but it's what I'm gonna try for this year and we'll just see what happens. So you see that really big hydrangea there, kind of in the middle of the garden? That's my Haas Halo hydrangea that's probably about 6 years old now, maybe 5 years. And here's the new one. Guys, look at this robin. Okay, hold for the robin. Oh man, that's so cute. I got that new solar bird bath and it has these straws on 4 sides to keep it from kind of taking the water out of the bird bath. And I was worried the birds wouldn't use it, but I have seen a couple using it so far. Okay, this is the best part of my day. So if you're like me and you love having a lot of bees and butterflies in your garden, I really don't feel like you can go wrong with Haas Halo hydrangea. The amount of bee activity on that particular hydrangea is absolutely amazing. I will try to find some footage from previous years and overlay it for you guys, either here or at the end of the video. But by the time that Haas Halo blooms and then its flowers, which look kind of like these little beads in the center, start to form pollen, the bees are just all over it. Another great thing about Haas Halo is that it is a smooth hydrangea. It's a smooth lace cap hydrangea, so it blooms on new wood, so you really don't have to worry about the pruning at all. You can prune it in the fall and you won't hurt it. You can prune it in the early spring and you won't hurt the blooms at all. It gets really big, and let's take a look at the tag and see what the tag says in terms of height and width, and then we'll compare it to what I see from this one that's about 6 years old. All right, so the tag says 3 to 5 feet tall and wide, and definitely mine is at least 5 foot by 5 foot by mid-June. So here's my older Haas Halo, and it even has some blooms on it here. So I did prune this back pretty hard. I think I went at it and took it down about 1/3. And I think it is gonna end up being about 5 and 5 inches tall, about the same exact height as me. Now, if I turn us this way, we end up with Invincibelle Spirit 2 behind us. This is about, I think, 4 or 5 years old. And it definitely gets almost 5 feet tall and wide. At least that's what mine has done here in zone 6B, where these guys get morning shade and afternoon sun. So the tag on Invincibelle Spirit 2 says 3 to 4 feet tall and wide. So maybe it's just best when we look at plant tags to always assume the biggest size they give us. What do you guys think about that? But I absolutely love this shrub and I love supporting this shrub. Proven Winners donates $1 for every one of these sold to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And if you watch my channel, you know cancer is close to my heart. So definitely want to include as many of those in the garden as I can. So on this side in the hydrangea room, we're going to have Haas Halo, a white lace cap. Then we'll have Invincibelle Spirit 2, which is a smooth pink hydrangea. Just ignore that panicle hydrangea for now. That's not its permanent location. I'm not really sure where I'm going to put it. And then the other day I did put in an Invincibelle hydrangea, so a smooth white hydrangea there. Then on both sides of Hummingbird Way, we have Invincibelle Ruby. And the other hydrangeas that I have over here, I have a mini Mauvet, which I think is that one right there. I have Limetta in the distance, which I love. I hope I can get another Limetta this year. There's other smooth hydrangeas in here, and to be honest with you, I can't even remember which ones those are. This is Strawberry Sundae hydrangea, which I really like the stems on Strawberry Sundae. It has kind of red stems. So I'm mainly sticking with smooth hydrangeas and just a few panicle hydrangeas over in this garden. And as time goes on, I may eliminate the panicle hydrangeas from this area and go with just all smooth hydrangeas in pinks, whites, and greens. That's really how I envision the space, is with all smooth hydrangeas. But for this year, I'll leave the panicles in and see how we like it. Guys, I also put in some other new things in this area. I put in some Trillium right there. And I also put in, kind of in both corners there, Peruvian Lily. And I've never grown Peruvian Lily before, so I'm really excited. It looks like a really interesting looking flower, and apparently it has this really cool fragrance. Well, that's interesting. It's definitely not rooted all the way into this container. I don't know if you can see that well, but the bottom 2 inches of soil these roots hadn't even gotten into yet. So we definitely don't have to worry about it being root bound. What's doing? Yes, a good girl. This is a good girl. Well, friends, I'm really sorry for the change in video here, but it's actually 1 week later. So I got really busy that day planting up a lot of my dahlias and my corn, and then I moved on to gladiola succession. And before I knew it, I was just knee deep in cut flowers. But let me give you a quick tour of the hydrangea room before everything blooms. I pretty much have it filled up with hydrangeas and annuals for cutting at this point. So this will kind of give us a before reference. So here in the corner of the hydrangea room, I have a crepe myrtle. This is a pink crepe myrtle, and I'm trying to keep the shrubs over here pink, purple, white, and green. So we have a lot of smooth hydrangeas over here like we talked about. And so let me show you the other things besides hydrangeas that I put in this past week. So we do have this starflower on either side, but you know what? I am going to direct sow starflower from now on. I'll show you some over near the front garden, and they look exactly the same, and they were direct sown rather than started inside. But I did also put in this variegated Jacob's ladder. I just really like the foliage on this and the differing texture that it brings to this area, almost a fern-like texture. We also have all these poppies. Those are mother of pearl poppies, I think from Baker Creek seed. The anemones over here are just starting to bud up. And if you can see all these open holes around, those are filled up with peach pizzazz calla lilies. I think I am just going to go ahead and relocate this panicle hydrangea. It's really not doing anything for me, and I'd rather fill it up with some more annuals for cutting. The shrubs that I have flanking the entrance are reblooming lilacs. These are the purple ones, and I do have a pink one over in the main area. They kind of have a different bloom head than your standard lilac. You know, it's almost less full, but it does bring a nice differing texture to an arrangement. Now, these sensational honeysuckles are really, really awesome, especially in the evening. They just perfume this entire area. Lots of gladiolus successions going in here. And as we switch to the other side, wait till you see these irises up close. I do want to be sure and show you the cup and saucer vine. Some are looking better than others. One looks really good. The other two, to be honest, I'm a little bit worried about them. We'll just see what happens. But check out these iris over here. In front of the iris, I have my Lisianthus. This iris is brand new to me. I put it in last fall. And it's called Concertina. Look at that. Have you ever seen an iris so beautiful with this beautiful light peach, almost bringing in a little bit of brown there, and then that beautiful purple tongue? Oh, here comes Rocky. I think he likes irises too. These irises are the ones that I transplanted last year. I did a video on that. And this purple variety is from our old house. They were just growing there when we moved in. And so I just took a few and spread them around. But really, I mean, you can't beat that concertina, right? Let me show you this area from the other direction. So here's how it looks from the opposite direction. You can see I have Orlea on either side. I'm not sure if I'll repeat that again in future years, but I just had the seedlings pop up somewhere else, so I decided to transplant them over here for this year. I also had a lot of random feverfew seedlings pop up, and so I sprinkled them throughout here, and this is also where that Peruvian lily is. Let me get you a close-up on Orlea. Isn't that lovely? And I do like how it contrasts nicely there with the iris. Now, if you see all of these random posts around the garden this year, that's all my dahlias that I put in the borders. I put in, I think maybe about 20 dahlias in the borders, all purple, lots of diva from last year. Creme de Cassis, is that how you say that, guys? I'm never sure how to say some of these names. And also anemone lifestyles in the border. And then all my tulips have been pulled out, replaced with dahlias for cutting. This area has my biggest, my tallest dahlias. Also, I got some questions on my sweet peas, so I need to start tying them in. But I have sweet peas here, growing up this bamboo entrance. I have 4. And then in the front window box, I'll show you that. That's where I have the majority of my sweet peas this year. But let's look at something really exciting before we go up there. So check it out, my friends. This is our snapdragon cutting area, and they are really blooming now. Pretty decent stem length on the cuttings. Not absolutely wonderful, but you know what? I'll go ahead and cut it, and I'll measure it, and I'll let you guys know how long they are. But I wanted to show you that. You know, the main mistake I made over here was I forgot to label which was which. I took cuttings of the Legend Light Pink and the Bridal Pink, and I'm not sure which one this is. But before we say goodbye, let me take you up to the front real quick and show you all those sweet peas. Rocky, you want to come up to the front? He really loves these shrubs. I've had these shrubs for a while, and he just keeps rubbing himself on them all the time. This is, it's either wine and roses Weigela or spilled wine, one of those, but he likes all of them. But look at this, guys. All the tulips are gone now. Oh, there's Buddy. And I'm about to replace all the tulips with salvias. Uh-oh. This is TMI going on right now. So let's head over to the front. So this is my front garden, and it's pretty shady up here. It gets morning sun and afternoon shade. I put all of the, sorry about the noise, guys, it's just impossible to avoid it up here. I put all the Scheherazade lilies up here. Also, a lot of the Lavande lilies are up here, so I'm going for kind of a red and orange, more hot colors up here. But I did put the majority of my sweet peas here to grow up this lattice, and I wanted to try them up here this year because this area gets morning sun and afternoon shade, and I think they might last a little bit longer by putting them there. So let's give it a try. So friends, that's the main update here at North Lawn. Let me know how everything's going at your garden. Do you have all your dahlias in yet? I still have so many more to put in. I haven't put any of the driveway garden dahlias in, And today I bought a lot of plants for the hummingbird because I keep seeing the hummingbird every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. So I splurged on a bit of annual salvia and a clematis, which I'm going to show you guys real soon. Of course, I want to wish you a fabulous day out in your gardens, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye.